Good morning, y'all. This is View from the Pew. It is Thursday morning, August the 20th, 2020, and we're looking at the commands of Jesus Christ. We're in Matthew 16 today. We're looking at Matthew 16, 24 through 26, and Jesus has just told them that he must suffer and die. Now, right after that, Peter goes, "No, Lord, you're not going to do that." And he says, "Peter, I rebuke you. I rebuke the satanic suggestions behind that. Be mindful of the things of God, not the things of men." And that's what you're doing, Peter. And then he says this to all his disciples. And here's the command. Take up your cross and follow Jesus. Take up your cross and follow Jesus. 24 through 26 says this. This is Jesus speaking to his disciples. He says, "If anyone desires to come after me, let him deny himself, take up his cross, and follow me. For whoever desires to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. For what profit is it to a man or a woman if he gains the whole world and loses his own soul? Or what will a man give in exchange for his soul? Take up his cross and follow Jesus." What does it mean to deny yourself? What does it mean to take up your cross? Because if you're going to come after Jesus, if you desire to follow him, you do not follow Jesus on your terms. Let me say that again. If you want to follow Jesus, you do not follow Jesus on your terms. So that means if you claim to be a Christian and you claim to be a follower of Christ, you don't do it your way. You do it God's way, or you're not doing it at all. You don't choose how to worship Jesus. You don't choose how to follow Jesus. You don't choose how to obey Jesus. You don't pick how your Christianity is going to be. If any man will come after me, he says, if he desires to, then he needs to take up his cross and follow me. What is meant by take up his cross? It at least means the carrying of the burden or the mission God has called us to do. Jesus' cross on this earth, the first time, was literally the cross. It was why he came. It's why he died. It's why he lived. It's why he did everything. He took that cross. It also means dying to yourself. And you see that implied in the other verses. Whoever desires to save his life will lose it. Whoever desires to lose his life for my sake will find it. How important is your life? We're very clingy to our lives right now. And please understand what I'm saying here is not to be presumptuous about God. It's not to test fate, but let's be honest, we're all going to die. So what's going to kill you? Is it going to be something in the world, or is it going to be you choosing to go ahead and give your life for Jesus Christ so that your life is not your own anymore? Your life is not about fulfilling your desires, your dreams, your wishes. Because no matter how good they are, they're never as good as what Jesus Christ has for you. He says, if you're willing to lose your life for my sake, then you will find your life. If you desire to save your life, then you've got to be willing to lose it. You've got to give up your life. Following Jesus isn't just a change about what you believe about him. It is giving up your life. It is taking up your cross. It is, as Paul said, I am crucified with Christ. Therefore, I no longer live, not I, but Christ who lives within me. I believe that's in Galatians 2:20, somewhere around there. And he goes on to say, what profit is it if he gains the whole world and loses his own soul? Now think about that. If you don't go down this path of God's terms for following Christ, you may gain the whole world, but you will lose your soul. Doesn't matter what your checking account looks like. Doesn't matter what they write about you. You can gain the whole world, but if you don't have Christ If Christ doesn't have you, then you've lost in the end. So, take up your cross and follow him. As a matter of fact, I think it's in Luke 9, he goes on to say, take up your cross daily. Take up your cross daily and follow him. That's a good word. It's a hard word, but it's a good word. So I would just ask you this as you think about today. Are you a Christian according to your terms or according to God's terms, according to Christ's terms? Are you loving Jesus according to Jesus? Are you obeying Jesus according to Jesus? Are you doing your own thing? Are you in business for yourself? Well, it's the Lord's business, and if you're going to follow him, he says, you follow me on my terms. You die to yourself. You die daily. You take up your cross and follow me. And may God help us to do that today in whatever we're doing. God bless.